please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Sometime last year, the much-awaited update or midlife makeover of the EcoSport finally made its way to the Indian market. It was quite a comprehensive one, and we also compared this car to its new arch rivals, the Tata Nexon and the Suzuki Brezza. But if you've already driven the car, if you've already compared it to its rivals, why are we driving it here again today? Well, that's because Ford's updated the lineup. Ford's added a new top-end variant to the EcoSport. It's called the EcoSport S, and that is what we have with us here today in Chennai. The S is the top of the line trim now and distinguishes its exterior form with sporty black accents comprising of a black grille, smoked headlamps with black detailing around the lighting elements, a black lining around the fog lamps, diamond-cut 17-inch alloy wheels with a gunmetal finish, and the new crowd favorite, a black roof for that contrasting dual-tone appearance. These little nips and tucks are executed quite tastefully and elevate the premium feel that the EcoSport already trumped its rivals with. The S trim also differentiates itself from the other trims in terms of its cabin design. Now, the overall layout remains the same, but you have these body-colored inserts, and I think they look really great. They feel also quite good. They have a matte finish to them. It's not a gloss finish and no piano black here, and I think that's a very good thing. The overall scheme of things here looks really nice. You also have a new instrumentation now. Now, if you remember that when we had compared this car against its rivals, we had said the instrumentation looks a little drab. It looks a little empty between the analog clocks. Now they've taken care of it. They've put in a 4.2-inch multi-input display. It's a black and white display, but I think it looks quite clean. It looks quite neatly integrated. It has the EcoSport icon right on there when you're not really looking at information, so there's no information overload, but it will give you all the information that you need regarding the trip, the vehicle settings, the telephony, audio data, etc. It's all right in there. So I think it's a very nice, clean layout and a good addition to have. Ford now also lets you have the EcoSport with a sunroof. It can either be specified with the EcoSport S that we are driving right now, or it is a part of the Signature Pack, a limited edition Signature Pack, which you can specify on top of the titanium trim. The limited edition Signature Pack gets you a few of these cosmetic updates and a 9-inch infotainment system compared to the 8-inch unit seen in the other trims of the EcoSport, including the new S. The new instrumentation and the sunroof in the S trim also contribute in a big way to the EcoSport's premium feel. Needless to say, the overall space in the car remains unchanged. Being the new range-topping trim, the S benefits from the already best-in-class safety features of the EcoSport, but adds a tire pressure monitoring system for good measure. The big news for the EcoSport S is that it marks the re-entry of the EcoBoost in the EcoSport lineup. The EcoBoost, as you may remember, was a 125 PS 3-cylinder direct injection turbocharged petrol engine. This time around in the EcoSport S, it is mated to a new 6-speed manual transmission. The 6th gear now helps the engine run in a more relaxed manner than before. The drivetrain needs around 2400 RPM to cruise at 100 km an hour. Or 1800 RPM to cruise at 80. The clutch is light and the throws are short and precise. We did not drive the car in crowded city traffic, but the linear acceleration, the absence of a prominent turbo lag, and our memory of the previous eco-boosted EcoSport tells us that this drivetrain will be a happy city dweller too, and a fuel-efficient one at that. Bury the throttle often though, and it may not be as fuel-efficient as the brochure claims. That said, not going pedal to the metal is difficult. But its rev-happy nature is inviting and makes it a delight to drive, almost feeling like a 1.5-litre naturally aspirated 4-cylinder petrol engine, but with 12% lesser guilt of CO2 emissions. Now, globally, Ford is also working on a more fuel-efficient version of the 1-litre EcoBoost engine. It will maintain its 3-cylinder configuration, but will also come with cylinder deactivation technology, meaning that it can shut off one of the cylinders and work on a 2-cylinder mode when you're coasting on the highway or cruising on the highway at highway speeds, and that will enhance the fuel economy even further. Ford also tells us that they have reworked the suspension for the EcoSport S. So then why are we testing this car out here on a flat, straight highway? Well, that's because that reworking of the suspension hasn't really given it any different dynamics. It is still a fine balance between good ride quality and good handling dynamics, sharp handling dynamics. What they mean by reworking the suspension is that they retuned it to take care of or to compensate for the lighter engine that now sits in the engine bay in the form of the EcoBoost. The EcoBoost drivetrain is only offered in the EcoSport's S trim, given its niche appeal, but that also makes it look like quite a pricey proposition. But Ford's endeavour to reduce maintenance and ownership costs, and looking closely at the big fat list of creature comforts and safety features, you realize that this car is actually cheaper than the sum of all its parts. Look at it from that perspective and you could find the EcoSport S EcoBoost to be one of the most compelling driver-focused crossovers in this space.